What if investigators trying to reopen one of Jeffrey Epstein's most controversial chapters say they're being blocked from seeing the very evidence they need? That's the allegation now coming from New Mexico Attorney General Raúl Torrez. He says the U.S. Department of Justice missed a July 31 deadline to hand over unredacted Epstein files connected to Zorro Ranch, Epstein's sprawling New Mexico estate, where he is accused of abusing and trafficking women and girls. Torres says his office reopened its criminal investigation earlier this year after newly released Epstein documents referenced Zorro Ranch thousands of times. But despite months of requests, he says investigators have received only 31 pages, most of them heavily redacted or consisting of old news reports. According to Torres, those documents are nowhere near enough to move the investigation forward. Torres says his office first requested access to the unredacted files back in February. In a June 30 letter to acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche, he demanded access by July 31, warning that legal action remains an option if the deadline was ignored. Speaking to Reuters, Torres said there is little indication federal authorities intend to provide unrestricted access. He argued that investigators need the files to identify witnesses, corroborate evidence, and pursue every possible lead linked to crimes allegedly committed at Zorro Ranch. Torres also noted that the ranch is mentioned more than 13,000 times in the released Epstein files, yet many of those references remain completely or partially redacted. According to him, every redaction could potentially hide information critical to the investigation. The dispute has also revived questions about an agreement made years ago between New Mexico and federal prosecutors. Former New Mexico Attorney General Hector Balderas says that after Epstein's federal arrest in 2019, his office agreed to pause its own investigation so the Southern District of New York could take the lead. In return, Balderas says federal prosecutors promised to hand over any state-related evidence once their case concluded. He points to a handwritten note recently revealed in the Epstein files that appears to state New Mexico would stop interviews while the Southern District of New York would later return state-related matters. Speaking to Reuters, Balderas accused the federal government of failing to honor that agreement, saying New Mexico shared evidence in good faith but never received the promised cooperation. He argues that investigators and survivors alike deserve accountability. The Justice Department disputes the suggestion that it failed to cooperate. A DOJ spokesperson told Reuters the department had already responded to New Mexico's request in June and welcomed additional investigation into Zorro Ranch. The department also said it stands ready to assist if the state's investigation uncovers possible federal crimes. However, Reuters reports that neither the DOJ nor the Southern District of New York responded directly to questions about Balderas' claims regarding the 2019 agreement. Meanwhile, New Mexico lawmakers have also launched a bipartisan truth commission with subpoena powers to investigate what happened at Zorro Ranch, with an initial progress report expected soon. For now, no lawsuits have been filed, but Torres insists every legal option remains on the table if investigators continue to be denied full access. As the battle over the Epstein files intensifies, the central question remains unchanged. Are there still crucial records that investigators have yet to see?